If you're anything like me, then when you got out of your toxic relationship, you didn't know what the hell happened. You were confused about who's to blame for what, whether it was all your fault or all her fault. A part of you feels like it was entirely your fault and you messed up what could have been a great relationship. But then there's another part of you, perhaps a smaller part of you, that feels like, actually, this was a very messed up relationship. So not only are you devastated about what happened, but you're also totally confused about it. You don't know what to think. And to make it worse, when you seek help from other people, whether it's your friends, your family, or even your own therapist, all they do is say things like, well, you should have stuck around longer, because then you would have seen the real her. Oh, you should have been more supportive. Clearly, you weren't understanding enough. Or they even say things like, there are no bad people, only wounded people. Or when you're telling them about something horrible you went through, they just say, well, it's too bad it didn't work out. As if it was just a normal relationship and you're just throwing a fit. So people either blame you for it, or they treat it as if it was just an ordinary relationship. Now, some of you might have that one guy who will slap you on the back and shove a beer in your face and say, nah, she was a bitch, get over it. But none of these answers help you at all. None of these answers actually help you get rid of this horrible confusion you have about the whole situation. And it makes it impossible for you to move on. Now, I spent over a year in an abusive relationship, so I experienced exactly the same kind of treatment. Now, one of the reasons why people telling you it was all your fault is so harmful to you and makes it impossible for you to move on is because it actually mirrors the exact same treatment you went through when you were actually in the relationship. If she's in a bad mood, it's your fault, and it's your responsibility to get her out of that bad mood. If you make a small mistake, then you're an idiot. At any moment, she could fly into a rage and start screaming at you about who knows what. That's the problem, is you have no idea what could set her off. But the bottom line is, it's always your fault. You're always the one who's held responsible. And when you're in this abusive situation, in this horrible relationship, you take on all this responsibility. You accept that you're an idiot because you made that mistake. You accept that it's your responsibility to make her feel better. And when you get out of that relationship, and all the people around you are trying to tell you that it was your fault, that you weren't understanding enough, that you weren't supportive enough, that you didn't stick around long enough, it's only going to continue that mindset. And that's why you kind of still feel like you're in that abusive relationship. You cannot move forward until you accept that you are not responsible for her behavior. She is responsible for her actions. She is responsible for treating you the way she did. The only thing that you are responsible for is making the choice to stay in that relationship. So going forward, try asking yourself, why did you stay in that relationship? Why did you allow yourself to be treated that way? They're very difficult questions to ask yourself, but that's the way to move forward. Now, recently I took quite a long break from this channel, and the reason was mostly because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in terms of the rest of my life and how to make it happen. And I've decided to utilize the experience that I had in my abusive relationship as something positive and helpful for people. And that's why I decided to go into coaching. If you have been through a toxic relationship, or you might be in one now, and you want to get some help and advice from someone who's been there themselves, check out my link in the description below. I can help you go from feeling confused about what happened, sad about what it could have been, and ruminating over what you should and shouldn't have said or done, to feeling confident about yourself and confident in your ability to build a healthy relationship going forward. I've been coaching a few people in my area for a while now, and if you want to be part of this small community, please check out the link below. I look forward to hearing from you, and thanks so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.